So, welcome to another episode of What's Your Story? And who do we have here today?
Got Max J.
All right, Max J, where you from, man?
Born and raised in Las Vegas, Nevada.
And how was that?
It's interesting. It's hot.
Yeah.
Very hot.
I bet. Desert.
Yeah.
Desert for sure.
Very dry, very hot, but a lot of fun. You know, a lot of hidden gems there.
So I'm gonna just let everybody know Max was our very first interview ever. He was our trial run. We was trying to get this thing up and off the ground. So we had to bring him back, and we got more equipment. We wanted to do this the right way.
Yeah.
And I also came to Max to do the interview in the first time because I felt like he had a really interesting story, and he didn't mind sharing it. So we are here once again.
Yes, sir.
We are here once again. So I'm gonna just put the ball in your court. You can start from anywhere in your story that you want to start from, and we just go back and forth from there.
For sure. But born and raised in Las Vegas. Was raised in a gymnastics family, so we didn't do those traditional sports really growing up. Not till later on in my life. So I mean, that was an interesting time in itself. Just the amount of travel and things we had to do to be able to pay for gymnastics commissions and uniforms and everything like that. But that's where I got my start from. For my career now, from professionally for 16 years now. Doing flips.
Yeah.
Doing my thing. So it all started from the desert.
What do you think got your family into gymnastics? Because usually everybody thinks of basketball, football, soccer. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. It's like my dad played baseball and everything. My mom was a gymnast from the beginning. Like she was. I guess that's where it started.
Yeah.
My mom was a gymnast. She worked to pay for herself because her mom didn't want to pay for it or anything like that, So she worked hard to get to do what she wanted to do. And my dad, I don't know where it came from for him, because he was in the military, and then all of a sudden was a stuntman and the power tumbler and stuff. Like, it just was a super interesting flip, but I'm grateful for it because it created me. And,
yeah.
But yeah, my mom's gymnast, dad was a power tumbler and a stuntman for 35 years. So it was pretty easy to kind of follow in their footsteps of knowing of what I wanted to do.
Did he have any big gigs? Being a stuntman?
He has quite a few. Like Con Air, he was a stuntman.
Oh, Con Air?
On Con Air.
Man, I grew up watching that.
The movie Mars Attacks.
That too.
Yeah, he was in that one.
That's hard.
A bunch of other films and stuff like that. He's also produced a couple and a lot of stunt choreography and everything like that.
Yeah.
Someone's calling me.
Oh, you good.
I'll put that over there so we have no disruptions.
You good.
But yeah, it's a bunch of other ones.
Yeah.
And, I've done, I think, 4 films now myself. And those are fun.
Yeah.
Movie sets are fun. It's a lot of hurry up and wait. But it's all worth it in the end. You meet a lot of cool people. Yeah,
I bet.
Eat a lot of good food for free.
Yeah,
paid to sit around, so nothing wrong with that. But it's fun being behind the camera.
How does
in front of the camera? In front of the camera.
How does that work? With your body? Because I know when I watch action movies, you can tell when it's a stunt double in there sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Does it hurt? Or I know you guys are professionals at how to fall certain ways where it won't be as impactful on your body.
Yeah.
But.
No, that definitely can be painful at times. It can be painful. But there's a lot of safety precautions that are taken, because that's always the number one thing on a set, or should be a number one thing anywhere you go for the safety.
Yeah.
So your body does take a toll on it though, and it catches up to you. But it's fun. You got to do what you love, and sometimes what you love hurts you. So.
Yeah. Damn, that's real. That's real for real.
Yeah, it's just what it is.
That is real for real. And being that, you grew up in Vegas and you were acrobat already, I feel like you was in the perfect spot too, because that's entertainment city right there.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely was. I was in the around a lot of good folks and a lot of good influences to do things like that. Sadly, threw away a lot of good opportunities to poor decisions and shit like that.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, my language.
Oh no, you good. You good.
But yeah, I mean, it's a great place to be around and get exposure to try to expand your brand and everything like that.
Yeah.
And just don't let it swallow you up.
Yeah.
Don't let it swallow you up.
So when you say poor decisions, like what was going on in your life at that time?
The typical stuff. I mean, drugs and alcohol. I mean,
Yeah.
it's typical kid and just partying and stuff like that. And it's like, oh, it's fine. But eventually, when you graduate and you get older and move on with that stuff and it sticks around, I mean, then it starts to become something else, and I let it become something else. You know. But I've tackled that now. Or almost 5 months sober. So,
hey.
Yeah. Good person on that. So that's really cool.
First hand clap on the pod.
I'll give myself a pat on the back.
For sure.
That's probably one of the hardest things I've done in a while.
Yeah.
It's just as it takes a toll on your mental and your physical as well.
Yeah.
And I can't believe I was doing what I was doing and still able to flip and work and do like that. And I feel bad for all the people that I was working for and people that I put in jeopardy, by being inebriated like that. But we bounced back.
Yeah.
We're good now.
Exactly.
We're good now. So
what was the point to where you was like, I have to make a change? Do you even remember? Was it anything spectacular?
I mean, it was just a multitude of things, just getting to me. I mean, losing relationships, seeing distance happen between my family and stuff like that. My niece and nephew, I just saw my niece for the first time on my way back out to Myrtle, and that was the only time I've seen her,
Yeah.
And so I want them to remember me and actually know me and not just hear of me, So that was another driving factor, is not wanting to, just be a story to them. I wanted to make stories with them and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because hopefully they can have some cousins here really soon. So that's what we're aiming for, man.
Yeah, man. I love that. Family is a great driving force to want to be better, man.
Oh yeah, it's probably one of the strongest driving forces, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, they are your anchors. I mean, and any ones that aren't, I mean, shame on you, but also feel sorry for you. That's your blood.
Yeah.
You should want to do anything, no matter what it takes. Like I said, love hurts. Love hurts.
So how did you end up in Myrtle from Vegas, man? Because I know a lot of people probably see this and be like, why in the world did you go to Myrtle Beach? Yeah.
No, well, like I said, I threw away opportunities and stuff like that. But the show out here, Pirates, you go with my career and everything, you got to go where there's work, and so I went where the work was. And sadly, that's when the 2020 pandemic happened.
Oh, yeah.
So I got out here to then get slapped in the face with that.
Yeah.
But I mean, I liked the show enough to, stick through it and stay here. And a lot of people will badmouth the show and, everything like that. But that's every show.
Yeah.
Every show is gonna be hard. Every place is gonna work you.
Yeah.
But I like being a pirate.
Hey.
It's fun. It's fun.
Right.
It's fun, but at the work, man, that's what brought me out here. And being from the desert, man, I don't have none of that shit out there,
Yeah.
I got mountains, but they're a little farther out, and I get to just see a bunch of dirt. I don't have the beach out there, so now I can smell the beach when I walk out my fucking door, and I'm loving it.
Yeah, you right by.
Yeah, right by it, man. Go surfing, I go fishing, I'm living life out here.
Yeah.
Man, I'm glad.
Yeah,
away
bro.
from Sin City, I love it.
So, have you done any gymnastics competitions for yourself or anything like that?
I mean, I haven't competed in gymnastics in a long time because there's an age limit.
Really?
Unless you go to college and then you end up competing for the USA team or anything like that, then you're gonna be an adult. But yeah, it's really only in your high school career.
Oh, I never knew that.
Yeah, you can be a competitive gymnast.
Oh, word.
But with trampoline has become getting so huge now. my sponsor for Off Axis, Danner Markley, he hosts competitions for tramp wall.
Yeah.
I've competed in a couple of those. Competed in the very first one. I still hold the record for the highest wall pop. So it's like you see me at work when I'm
Yeah.
jumping from the top of the wall and I jump up. That's
Yeah.
called a wall pop. And so I hold the record right now for the biggest jump in the competition, which was 8.6.
Oh, word.
So 8.50. Yeah, dude, I'll find the picture. I'll send it to you.
Yeah.
I'm like full rollerblader grabs, like cranked up as high as I could go, clearing over this freaking 8-foot stick. Dude, it was massive. But I've competed in quite a few of those. Well, the most decorated athlete for it, technically I'll say athlete for it, in the competitions, just because of like the medals and like the amount of times I've competed. So that's pretty cool accomplishment right there. But yeah, I haven't competed in a few years though, or I guess it'd just be a year and some change since I competed.
I don't think I asked you this last time, but I want to know this for myself. Do you do parkour too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where that's technically like where like I started doing parkour before I even did tramp wall. So we used to own the largest parkour gym in the United States called Hardcore Parkour. It's out in Vegas.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's where it started from. I was doing parkour, teaching classes of that and stuff before I even started tramp wall. And then my brother is the one who showed me tramp wall, and pushed me to do that. And I didn't really want to do it at first.
Why do you think that's such a big thing? And why didn't you want to do it at first?
Well, so what's such a big thing? Like parkour?
Why do you think like tramp wall is like becoming such like it's getting bigger and it's growing?
Because it's fucking awesome. You not see it, dude? You not see the videos and the clips that people be putting out, man? It's
I actually have.
It's awesome. I mean, you got Junk Tramp. They put out awesome content, and it's just sick flips all the time. It's just something so cool to watch. I mean, and then you go to these trampoline parks and you see these older kids doing it. Those kids are like, I want to do it. And then that's when like the lower generation surpasses the older generation. Yeah. And you see all that progression. Yeah. You know, with every single sport now, like it's just like those younger kids are just so freaking good.
Yeah, I don't know what's
I mean, it's just so it's just a growing sport, and it's just
they're like born prodigies now with the young people. Man. it's crazy to watch for real, man.
Yeah, but then not wanting to do it was just because I was doing parkour. Like I was doing the parkour thing, but I was playing lacrosse.
Yeah.
Because I had hit a growth spurt, so I had stopped gymnastics because at the level I was at. I lost all my muscles, so the tricks I was competing, I just couldn't do, and so like that strength wise and everything. Like, I mean, dude, I grew like what was it, 1.5 feet in 3 months?
Yeah,
and like it was so painful, like just like shot up there, and so I just like lost all that muscle and everything like that. So I needed to find something else. So I eventually started playing lacrosse.
Yeah.
And I was just so invested in that. And my brother was like, no, do this with me. And I was like, fine. And then I started to like it a bit. Yeah. And I didn't want to progress that much. I was like, I could do it, but I'm still doing this. And, you know, older brother, don't be a bitch. Yeah. I'm not going to let you call me a bitch. And so I'm glad he called me a bitch, though, because, you know, I mean, look where I'm at today.
Yeah.
You know, I'm so thankful for it. I mean, it's taken me around the world, seen so many cool places and seen so many cool people.
You do go ham on the tramp wall.
And I go ham on the tramp wall too.
I give you that.
That's all literally shout out to my brother. Like literally.
So where have we can edit that out. Anyway. Where are all the places you've been? Like where's the coolest place you've been because of your career? Where's the coolest place you've been?
I'd say from my career personally, like that's taken me.
Yeah.
I mean, just as most beautiful places out in Hawaii. I mean, we were doing a private party for this company, and we built this wall. We had to rent all the equipment from these places out in Hawaii.
Yeah.
And like all the wood and everything. And we told them like, look, we won't put any scratches on it. We won't drill no holes in it. Or nothing, like put no bolts in there, nothing. And we built the whole wall out of like scaffolding and Velcro and straps and made it work. Yeah. You know, so we were able to return the stuff, but out in Hawaii is where like the Eurotramps and a big trampoline company is out there and stuff. And so they rented us a brand new trampoline that's like been bounced on like one time. So it was like pristine. We're right at the Four Seasons, like beach and like ocean is right there, and I'm just bouncing on trampoline like in sunset times, just absolutely gorgeous. But I mean, coolest places I've seen from not really my career is when we were younger in 2007. We were representing USA for this world competition called World Gymnastrada,
Yeah.
and so it took us to Europe. So we went to Austria, Germany, and Paris.
Oh, that's
And
fine.
so I think Paris is probably the coolest places I've been. Or like Austria, just look at the structure and architecture out there is just absolutely insane.
Yeah.
And me and my brother got chased by French police because we were skateboarding underneath the Eiffel Tower. So that was a fun memory.
Yeah.
Because I remember being a little ass kid picking up my skateboard and running from the law enforcement
Yeah.
with my older brother in a foreign country. Like, that'll live with me forever.
Yeah, that's fine.
You know? So I mean, it's taken me overseas and like I've seen. I hope it doesn't stop. I hope I get to see more places.
Yeah,
So,
that's fire.
yeah,
That's fire.
Travel's fun, man. I mean, not the part to get there because that shit took forever. Oh my god, there was like 14-hour like flight or something. Like, God, dude, sitting in that little chair, I was like, dude, going crazy.
I can't even imagine.
So uncomfortable.
Yeah, I can't even.
But
imagine,
worth it.
for real.
But worth it.
So, what's the coolest story you got, or what's like the craziest thing that happened since you've been in Acrobat because you were in Acrobat? You know how like when rappers rap, they're like, "Oh man, I got all these girls this night."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. I guess my favorite one is just when I was traveling with the circus. My first.
Oh, how
year.
was that?
I mean, that was a whole experience and everything on itself because we traveled all of Northern California and then up into Oregon.
Yeah.
But it was fun because we were the setup crew and the
performance
show. You know, so like I was pounding stakes into the ground every week and then pounding them out at the end of it and then traveling to a new place. You know, so life on the road is fun, but very hectic and very taxing.
Yeah.
But so fun. But the first show or the first time I was with them, I was with one of my best friends, Dylan Broadway, and the show was just so fun. But we would know because our ringmaster gave us names.
Yeah,
like would give us these nicknames, and so my nickname was Sparkle Donkey, and it was actually, and it's funny because she actually named me after her friend's tequila. That's a tequila brand name, Sparkle Donkey. And so like I thought it was super cool, and so she'd been announcing me in the show and everything, and it was 4th of July. And we had just done our show. Me and my buddy, me and Dylan, we were going down to this little private beach cove that I had found.
Yeah.
We were doing a little something, tripping out a little bit, you know. And we were going through the town, and out of nowhere, I just hear Sparkle Donkey, and I turned, and this guy and his family who were at the show, and they came, called us over, took pictures with us, and the guy hands me a $20 bill, and he goes, "This is for your drinks, man. Got some fun." And I was like, all right. It really made me feel like celebrity, being out on tour like that, getting recognized for just a dumb little, bit that we do on the show, it just meant so much to people. I really caught them so much. So I really like that shit.
That's fire.
Yeah, I think that's probably, it's the other, drunk stories with them are just as crazy. But I mean, we won't go into those. We won't go into those ones.
What's the toughest event you've had to do since being a gymnast? What's the toughest obstacle you had to do? Because y'all do some crazy stuff, bro.
Yeah, so, I don't know, man.
Honestly, it looked like it comes pretty easy to you because I see you work. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean,
it come easy.
I mean, the biggest troubles are just mainly with the employers or like with the builders or something. Going into a site or getting told that a place looks like this and showing up and it's not nowhere near. I mean, like so I guess. Like one time we did this gig out in Florida, and it was for this big like art convention, like artist convention thing, whatever. And it was a super fun gig. But the wall that we were bouncing on, the trampoline we were bouncing on, was 14 feet high. And with that kind of big wall, you want it a little angled out a little bit.
Yeah.
You don't want it straight up and down because it's gonna be super vert.
Yeah.
Well, the guys, they had built it correct. They had built it correct and everything before we had got there. And they thought they just had to build it. And so then they built it, got the approval, and then thought it was done. So they tore it fucking down. And they were like, shit. and so all the things were messed up. So they just built a 14-foot wall and then put these trampolines next to it.
Yeah.
So and it was just nighttime, and it's out in Florida, so humidity was out crazy, you know. And so just slipping all over the place. I definitely thought I was gonna break my neck or die on one of those occasions, you know, because I mean we got pyro going off too. I mean it's just fire. It's hot. I'm slipping on this wall, and I'm like technically like 14 feet above the trampoline. The trampoline's 4.5, 5 feet above the ground. So really, I'm like 20 something feet off the fucking ground of solid hard ground. So, but yeah, I mean.
So you never really had a tough obstacle or something that took a while to learn. It's just
nothing really crazy. I mean, it's all just learning through the whole thing.
Yeah.
You know, with the circus. Oh, hey there, buddy. With the circus, it just really taught me more about myself.
Yeah.
You know, not getting frustrated and, you know, just learning how to push through more of that stuff. I mean, because that was really just the tough factor of that part was just the building, the being so tired and drained and not having a proper shower because I'm living in a trailer, traveling with the circus, you know. So like I lived behind the tent, you know. So like I was camping for 5 months.
Yeah.
And then I was like, so it was brutal, but it just, I mean, that was like the toughest obstacle was myself, I'd say.
In your opinion, what's the coolest animal you've worked with?
Coolest animal I've worked with?
Coolest animal you've worked with?
Dude, I don't know. I'd say the sea lions at work right now.
The sea lions?
I mean, those are the most interesting so far, dude. I don't think I've really worked with any other animals other than like some show dogs, which I mean, show dogs are badass.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, dude, those sea lions are fucking cool.
Yeah, bro. I don't know how they train them that well.
Yeah. Dude, I mean, the amount of fish they eat, dude. They like Bruce used to eat 125 pounds of fish a week.
Bruce?
Or it's like in a few days.
So, how are you still alive?
Oh man, that is a good question because this job is literally it should have killed me a bunch of times. You know? I mean, just the amount of concussions and brain trauma that I've had. You know.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that's a part of being acrobat is, you know, that comes those consequences or those can come with it.
Yeah.
So you have to prepare for that stuff too, of keeping up with your body, keeping healthy.
Yeah.
You know, staying physically fit and keeping your brain healthy and everything like that. So if something does happen, your body's able to recover from it faster. And that's something I never used to do when I was younger. Because when I was younger, I said, I'll bounce right back. I'm freaking invincible.
Yeah, you're young, so you like, you know,
like that, you know? And now I'm approaching 30, and I'm like, okay, I'm feeling this. Like,
it's starting to hurt.
Dang, you know, I'm waking up in the morning different than I used to. You know, but oh man, I pray to God every time. Every time I go on a show now, I'd say a prayer. Because I just thank God for protecting me and giving me the strength. Because that's ultimately who's kept me alive, and who's given me the courage and strength to recover and bounce back and go back into it. Yeah. You know, because I mean, at Pirates alone, I was the first person to ever stop the show, you know, from knocking myself out. And rewatching the video every time, I'm like, I low-key shouldn't be walking right now. You know? And now just recently too, I mean, they're gonna see me without this neck brace on. They're gonna be like, where's that neck brace?
Oh yeah.
Because I mean, technically kind of broke my back when we go on the show. Yeah. On that water. You know, water can be hard, but I didn't think it could be that hard. Thank God.
So what's the worst injury you think you've had?
So far, I'd say it's probably the fractured back. Yeah. That and then probably just the brain damage. Like, yeah, man. I mean, because there's 2 occasions that I can like remember that like are the most brutal with head trauma. Yeah. There's one with the circus, over rotated and flip, and everything hit the mat except for my head. It hit the wooden stage, and there was like wood legs underneath to give it stability. Yeah. And I hit right underneath, like right on one of those studs, so it was like even harder. Yeah. And just fucking boom. So I don't even remember the drive to the hospital, coming back, or the next day. Oh, and man. I was like waking up every morning cross-eyed. So I'd like reset my eyes. I'd wake up. I'd have to sit there like this, move this one around. Then I'd have to go reset that one. And then I have to sit there and reset them together. And then every time I'd bounce on the tramp, my eyes would go whoop, cross-eyed. There, it's like I did the rest of that contract blind, you know, because it's like just going off of feeling and awareness of like where I am in the flip.
Yeah.
And that comes with like years and years of doing it so much. Like you
Yeah.
know how much time you have in this flip or where you are in this flip just by feeling stuff because I couldn't see. And then that time at Pirates, like, I mean, man, my neck folded like I'd never seen something fold before, bro. And that's, oh man, that's a traumatic thing to see.
You know what's funny? People, the guests always ask me like, "Oh, when are you going to go out there and do that?" I'm like, little do y'all know, man, these people risk their lives every time they come into work. Like every time they come, they're risking their life to put on the show for y'all.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? That's real.
And even when it comes to just the little things too. I mean, just water on the beach, like water on the beach at work.
Yeah.
On the rod floor or something. Like my biggest thing that I've been actually needing to say is ice cubes. Them servers need to be watching them ice cubes down on that beach, man.
Oh, word!
I stepped right on one and freaking went ice skating. Went
yeah,
right before it passed. That was so scary.
Somebody was telling me they slipped and fell yesterday. When
yeah?
it was running off. Yeah, when it was running off, they just slipped and fell right on their back. They tried to make it, they tried to play it off, but he's like, nah, I fell for real.
Hey, it only happens sometimes, man. I fell for the first time in a sword fight the other day.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I came around and went straight to my back and just got up. I was like, oh, God. I didn't even know how to react from it, man. I didn't even know how to react. It never happened to me before. I was like, oh, God.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's dangerous. Like, just stepping foot in the building. Like,
yeah, man.
Any part of that show is dangerous.
Yeah,
stuff,
boy, y'all got it. Y'all got it. So we're really close to wrapping this up. Really, man, I feel like this, this is very informative on your story. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
we talked about, being an acrobat, the cool things about being an acrobat, but you also talked about the struggles and, things that you dealt with, with the drinking and the drugs and everything, how you kick that habit, making yourself a better person, becoming a better person, and you did it for your family.
Yes, sir.
So, that's what What's Your Story is all about. So we have a tradition here. Just look into this camera right here. If you have any motivating words or anything you need to say that's, you want to inspire others, just go ahead and say it right there, man.
I saw it this morning, actually, so I'm going to repeat what I heard. If you set a time to wake up at that time. You set a time to train at that time. If you say things, you say you're going to do it. Because then it's just not benefiting anything at all. Just keep to it, stick to it, and you got it.
Hey. And we're going to end it like that. Thank you so much, Max. We appreciate it.
Thank
and
you.
that wraps up another episode of What's Your Story?
Oh, yeah, brother.